Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barakahak Wadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure unto the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and in this video, I'll be profiling a little bit of this article from theconversation.com titled, U.S. Military Plans to Unleash Thousands of Autonomous War Robots over next 2 years. And when we go into this article, it's going to be saying that the main reason is to combat growing threats from China and Russia, which is true to an extent, but best believe that these robots are going to be used on the streets of America as well to quell the coming civil unrest, which is clear to see that it's right around the corner. You've got a lot of people complaining on the internet about the economy and inflation and about how they can't afford anything and that the jobs they work don't pay them enough and they face losing their houses, having to live on the streets, all kind of stuff. And then you've got a lot of people saying we will not comply after hearing talks of the government possibly bringing back the C019 Mano dates and L downs. Hey, the list goes on and on. We are on a powder keg right now, and the elites are preparing for this. Remember, a couple of years ago, information came out saying that the Department of Homeland Security bought hundreds of millions of rounds of hollow point ammunition. And did you think they just bought that to store it up in a warehouse? No. Those bullets are going to get used just like these robots are going to get used. And one of the main targets of these robots and just this brute force that the powers that be are going to be bringing to American people are you Israelites in America, or you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because we're coming into the times of Jacob's trouble, where Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi is going to judge you hard-headed and rebellious Israelites who don't want to return under their power, hey, with the person you do want to cleave unto, these Edomites. This is Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And the wicked, according to the scriptures, the border of wickedness in Malachi 1 verse 4, and the wicked whom the earth has been given into the hands of in Job chapter 9 verse 24, are these Edomites, or so-called white people. And as it also says, which is thy sword. Not only are the Edomites the wicked of the scriptures, but they're also the sword of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi that he's used over these last 500 or so years to punish our people for being, again, hard-headed and rebellious and not wanting to follow after the ways of Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashi. But look at what our people do. The more they get beat, the more they cleave under this Edomite. They've got the ultimate form of Stockholm Syndrome. And so with this last go-around during Jacob's trouble, the Most High is really going to put the spirit on his wicked to utilize that sword to put you Israelites to death. And those robots are going to play a very big part in it. This is Ezekiel chapter 21, verses 9 to 12. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and is also furbished, the wicked, which is thy sword. And when you go to Genesis chapter 27, you'll see that one of Esau's blessings that he and his lineage would receive from Isaac was the sword. By thy sword shalt thou live. And how did this Edomite gain control of the planet? Through his sword, through rape, robbery, and murder, starting with those muskets and cannons, moving up to machine guns and tanks and fighter planes and fighter jets, all the way up until today with what? His ultimate sword, those nuclear missiles. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son, as every tree. And with these terrible times we can clearly see we're coming into, should we be making mirth? Of course not. This isn't the time of coming together, of happiness or love or peace or anything like that. This is the time of hate, a separation, death, destruction, and war. But for the majority of our people, they can't discern the signs of the times. As it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, they think that, oh, if we just vote for Trump, things might go back to normal. Or, oh, yeah, things seem a little bit bad now, but we're just going to make a TikTok video or a meme about it and things are going to get better. That is not the case. And the Most High is sick of you, Jakes, just continuing to be rebellious and not getting it and taking everything as a goddamn joke out here, especially with his prophets out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles like this online. But hey, we're at that time where playtime's almost over and it's about to be game time. And the game is going to be that sword putting the mass number of you Israelites to death horrifically. And he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer, the wicked, Esau, Edom. Cry and howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon thy thigh, point blank period. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Now let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 16 in the Apocrypha. I'm going to start at verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, the times of Jacob's trouble, where this Edomite, the wicked, the sword of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to be upon the entire nation of Israel. He's going to be coming after the elect. But hey, you Israelites, even though a lot of y'all are, rebellious and whatnot, you still have some form of spirituality to you and believe in a higher power. But as it says, and I believe Romans, they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. And you don't acknowledge who your true power is, and you scoff at his prophets. So that terror and great insurrection is coming upon you, and it's going to wash you away like a great flood. Verse 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none. Hey, these soldiers out here, the UN troops, FEMA troops, NATO troops, private mercenaries like in Blackwater or anything like that, as well as the devices like these robots that are going to be out here killing without mercy, without remorse, without giving a second thought to it, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Hey, a lot of you Israelites, hey, these soldiers with the robots, and even these average everyday racist Edomites out here, hey, they're going to pull up on your neighborhoods, drag a lot of y'all out of your houses, put you to death, take your goods, take your women, take your children, and have their way with them. Then a lot of y'all are going to get sent to these detention centers and tortured and put to death. But hey, like I said earlier, even though the wicked is going to come down upon the entire nation of Israel, the elect included, the only difference is that the elect is going to have a protective hedge over them, protecting them, shielding them from the sword, while the wicked of our people won't have that hedge around them and are just going to get hewed to pieces. As it's about to say, then shall they be known, who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, Jacob's trouble, but I will deliver you from the same, the elect are going to be delivered from these calamities that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is about to bring down through his wicked, the sword. So like we always tell you, sincere Akim and Akwat out there, hey, right now, during this grace period, which is quickly coming to an end, do whatever you can to stay in the good graces of your power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and so you can be of that number and receive that protective hedge around you. But now let's get into that article. U.S. military plans to unleash thousands of autonomous war robots over the next 2 years. The United States military plans to start using thousands of autonomous weapons systems in the next 2 years in a bid to counter China's growing power, U.S. Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks announced in a speech on Monday. Like I said earlier in the video, hey, they're making and gonna use a lot of these robots to combat China and Russia, but they're also gonna be on the streets of the United States of America as well. A lot of these policies that the U.S. uses in these other countries are gonna come back and be used on you American citizens. They have that saying, the chickens that come home to roost. Just look at a lot of those powers that were given to the government during the Patriot Act after 9/11. A lot of them have been heavily used against the U.S. populace. And then you've got a lot of these NDAA, or National Defense Authorization Acts, which label Americans in different categories as possible domestic terrorists. Slovakia. The so-called Replicator Initiative aims to work with defense and other tech companies to produce high volumes of affordable systems for all branches of the military. Military systems capable of various degrees of independent operation have become increasingly common over the past decade or so, but the scale and scope of the U.S. announcement makes clear the future of conflict has changed. The age of warfighting robots is upon us. But now I'm going to jump down to where it says robots everywhere. In her speech, Hicks talked of a perceived urgent need to change how wars are fought. And that U.S. flag we have right now is actually the battle flag. And you know how you give the Pledge of Allegiance to it? That means you've pledged to that battle flag and you're technically considered an enemy combatant. So wherever that flag is, that's a combat zone. So, hey, these wars can also mean operations on the streets of America, which you U.S. citizens as enemy combatants, enemies of the state. In her speech, Hicks talked of a perceived urgent need to change how wars are fought. She declared in somewhat impenetrable Pentagon speak that the new replicator program would field attributable autonomous systems at scale of multiple thousands in multiple domains within the next 18 to 24 months. Decoding this autonomous means a robot that can carry out complex military missions without human intervention. So what these programs are going to be able to fulfill their mission and take out who they need to take out, and they're not going to give a second thought to it. And you Israelites are going to be some of the main targets of these robots. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about how a lot of these AI systems used by, I believe, Google and these police departments, hey, they're not really good at differentiating with the biometrics of people of color. So they've misidentified people of color, and a lot of the wrong people have been getting arrested and stuff like that. So you can already see these robotic systems have a bias towards you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Attributable means the robot is cheap enough that it can be placed at risk and lost if the mission is of high priority. Such a robot is not quite designed to be disposable, but it would be reasonably affordable so many can be bought and combat losses replaced. Hey, it's cheaper to send in a robot than a soldier. It's cheaper to repair a robot than to bring a dead soldier back to life. Finally, multiple domains means robots on land, at sea, in the air, and in space. In short, robots everywhere for all kinds of tasks. Point blank, period. This devil is coming down in great wrath, as it says in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. And the only means of escape is through Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. You won't be able to prep to escape these calamities. You won't be able to train in any martial arts to escape these calamities, anything like that. This is a spiritual battle we're coming into, not a carnal battle. But for the majority of you hard-headed Israelites, you're going to feel the full brunt of these robots and other aspects of the sword that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to bring to you through the wicked. But now I'm going to go to this Twitter post from Mercedes-Benz Stadium's Twitter, now X's page. Meet Benzi, our newest security associate at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So they're already deploying these robots to an extent for security purposes in the United States of America. And before long, they're going to be locked and loaded and ready to throw some lead at people. Over in California, I know in Oakland and I believe in San Francisco as well, you have the police departments talking about putting guns on robot dogs like this. And up in New York City, they announced that these robot dogs would start going on patrols with the police department. But let's play this. And what are you Jakes gonna do with that glizzy, them ladders, them chopsticks, or any other type of gun you got against a robot that's bulletproof and has a damn 50 cal or a automatic grenade launcher strapped to its back? Not a goddamn thing. For a lot of you Jakes out there, robots like this or robots similar to this can be the last thing you're ever gonna fucking see. But that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just remember what it said in 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verses 73 to 74. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. We're going to go through Jacob's trouble as well. But hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. If you're of that elect number, which Abaratazah I am, and you sincere Akim and Akwath listening are as well, we're going to have that protective hedge of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai around us, that shield to deflect that sword from the wicked. So, again, that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.